Crime through the roof, folks, is bad. But it almost seemed normal to the mind now. This is from ABC. A woman was stabbed more than 40 times by a person who followed her into her apartment in New York City's Chinatown. Watch this.
Tonight, a community in shock after the brutal murder of 35-year-old creative producer Christina Yuna Lee inside her New York City apartment. Authorities say the horrible scene unfolded in the early hours Sunday morning. 25-year-old Asamad Nash following Lee into her apartment in Manhattan's Lower East Side before taking a knife from her kitchen and fatally stabbing her. Neighbors say they could hear screaming and called 911. Nash, trying to flee from the fire escape, taken into custody after a brief standoff with police. Officials say he was homeless at the time. He is now facing murder and burglary charges.
I didn't kill nobody.
So far, he has not been charged with a hate crime.
That does not diminish the fear, the real fear that we as Asians, as Asian women especially, are feeling.
Today, a vigil held. Susan Lee, who survived an attack on the subway, saying this needs to stop.
I'm at the point where I can't take it anymore. Our elected officials need to act.
Amazing, huh? I'm wondering out loud. Everybody see that most of these crimes are done by black people. By black people. Why isn't that's the number one discussion so that this could be ended and could stop it? On the mainstream media, you hardly see it. But everybody know that it is happening in the black. So why don't people wonder why? And not all, but why don't they wonder what's wrong with that part of society that they are doing these things like this? It has nothing to do with slavery, so don't tell me that. But don't you wonder out loud, why are the blacks the ones that committed so much crime? It wasn't like that before the so-called civil rights movement, folks. It really wasn't. I was counseling with a man yesterday, and out in the South somewhere, and kind of an elderly man, not really elderly, but older. And he was saying, Jesse, I can relate when you say that blacks were not the way that they are today prior to the civil rights movement. My grandfather, he said, owned 100 acres of land in the city. I mean, during that time when supposedly blacks couldn't do anything. He owned 100 acres in the South. And when he expired, before he expired, he made arrangement that his wife would get so much of it, his children got so much, he left it to their children. I have family members like that. And blacks were not going out killing and robbing and raping and burning down and destroying. All that mess started with the civil rights movement, which should have never happened. It didn't make things better for the blacks. It made it worse, not only for the blacks, but for the country. This is not normal. It's not normal. So they don't want to call it a hate crime. This black guy been accused of killing this woman, right? But if a white man had done it, that would have been in the headlines. Hate crime committed. They would call a hate crime right away. It wouldn't be up for discussion at all. Black people, these people don't love you. They want you like this. They need you to be out of control. They need to control you so that they can destroy America. They cannot destroy it without the blacks' help. That's why they don't want to set you free. They want to turn America, and they're doing it, into a socialist society. They need the blacks to be out of control and just bring total destruction upon the country. And then pretend that it's because of slavery. It's because of racism. why don't you recognize that they are not treating you as humans? They say to you that you are not capable, so you need affirmative action. You need reparations. You need to get out of jail, so we're going to get rid of bail bonds. And then you get out, look what happens. Look like, I understand the fallen nature, but this is ridiculous. They're taking the joke too far. They are taking it too far. Really. It's crazy that the blacks are doing this. Just because they removed the police officers and just because they let you out of jail with no bail, it doesn't mean, it's crazy. It doesn't mean you got to act this way. The accused attacker, this is from ABC, the attacker, Asamar Nash, is a career criminal who had been arrested multiple times and has 3 open criminal cases. That guy right there. Isn't that amazing? It is, and it's going to get worse. And see how those people, the Asian people there were responding? They are in total fear now. They're in fear. And that's where the government want you. That's where the people who are of darkness, they want you in fear. That's why they use the word racism all the time. It keeps white people in fear. And it causes blacks, not all, but most, to go out of control. Blacks hear that word racism, they go into a hypnotic trance. And they'll burn down the country. And they'll go into your store and just take your stuff. And they know you're not going to do anything now because you're afraid to. It's fear. It's mind-blowing. In the United States of America, a Christian nation, Judeo-Christian nation, may God have mercy upon America.